Just got a text message this week from my buddy Jay over in Raleigh. He said, Stu, just finished your book. It is excellent. Thanks for being so raw, so real, and so funny. I am honored to have Jay as a friend. I hope you would enjoy my book. It's called What She Said and What I Heard, How One Man Shut Up and Started Listening. And it's available in audio form or ebook form or book form, wherever books are sold. Hope you enjoy.
She's 91, so she's lived an incredible life, beautiful life. And I'm so grateful I've had her all this time. But now it's my turn to be the parent.
What is the sound of one man listening? This is Man Listening, a fresh podcast featuring the stories of strong women who bounce back. Man Listening, because every woman deserves to be heard.
Hi, I'm Stuart Watson, and welcome to Man Listening. This week, a little bit of a different conversation with an old friend, Leigh Ann. My mother is not in good shape. Her mother is not in good shape, and we got together recently and sort of compared stories. We hadn't seen each other for quite some time face to face, and so it's nice to catch up. It's a poignant conversation, and we're at that point in life and where I don't know how your mom is, but you know, it's a rite of passage. It's where we are now. Kind of a poignant conversation. Thanks for taking time, Leigh Ann. Here's my buddy Leigh Ann. How is your mother?
Oh gosh, my mother she's in severe decline, dementia.
Is she in a nursing home?
She's not in the nursing home. I have nurses at her house for her, which I'm grateful that I can do that.
Is she in hospice?
No. Physically, she's great. It's her mind. You know, she's hallucinating. She's seeing dead people. She doesn't know, her days and nights are mixed up. She can no longer take care of her own affairs as far as finances and stuff like that. It's just all very...
Can she feed herself?
She can. She can feed herself and bathe.
Can she get to the bathroom?
She can. She's still very independent like that, and she loves to go.
Does she drive?
No, she has a driver. She has drivers. It's driving Miss Daisy around the town.
How often are you up there?
I've been up there the past 3 weekends in a row.
And she recognizes you? Yeah,
she knows me. She knows my kids. I mean, we have the same conversation every day. I mean, she talks she struggles with words and forming sentences, but she will talk about the weather. We'll talk about just basic stuff. But her personality is gone. Like my mother is not there. And so that's so hard for me because it's like this long goodbye with her. And she's my only family member. You know, I have no brothers and sisters. All my relatives are gone. She's it. And I'm getting teared up just thinking about it. I mean, she's 91, so she's lived an incredible life, beautiful life. And I'm so grateful I've had her all this time. But now it's my turn to be the parent, to be the healer, to help her. And it is stepping into that has been so emotional. I'm not afraid. I'm just full of emotion. And that's probably pretty right where I need to be, normal. COVID has really, I think, made her decline quicker because she can't get around her church people, her church ladies, her girlfriends, you know, her friends and family. She's been pretty much shut in, you know. So I think that's been very hard for her. And I haven't gone to see her. I didn't see her for maybe 6 months when, you know, they told us that I thought we were going to be driving over bodies in the street. Like, I thought people were just going to be falling out, dead, like zombie apocalypse. So we stayed away from her for months. And I think that was very hard for all of us.
Did you talk to her on the phone?
Yeah, I talk to her every single day on the phone. And sometimes those are good. Like, it's so interesting because with dementia, there's parts of her that Like I went up there a couple of Friday nights ago, and we got dinner. I went and got us dinner and brought it back, and we watched a Charles Bronson Western. I found it on this Grit TV.
Is that her choice?
She loves Westerns. I've watched all the Clint Eastwoods. Like that's her thing. And we sat there and we were watching it together. And for just a split second, I saw little pieces and pops of her old personality. She was able to talk to me. And then we woke up the next morning and she was gone. You know, it was like, just like devoid of, there's nothing behind her eyes. It's just it's such a difficult thing not for her, but for the people around her, for me. So it's my job to like, she keeps seeing like people that have passed. She'll pull chairs out for my stepdad for him to sit and watch TV with her. It's just all so interesting for me to just let her be where she is and be the grown up.
So you don't try to say, Mom, there's no one there.
No, I play right along with her. I play along, and I just let her, I don't want her to feel like she can't tell me. I don't want to shame her for it. I don't want to make her feel like it's not scaring her. My main thing was the only question I asked her was, are you fearful? Are you afraid? And she said, no, not at all. And so when I realized she wasn't afraid and it was bringing her some sort of comfort, who am I to tell her? I mean, there's part of me that feels like she's got one foot in this world and one foot in the next. So who am I to tell her that she's not seeing spirits, Like maybe she is. Who knows? So
that's very generous of you.
Fighting it would be like, what's the point in that? So I'm trying to just practice the principles in this, acceptance, integrity, awareness, service.
It's also courageous of you to show up. You'd be surprised the number of people who run away.
Well, I can feel myself wanting to check out and run away. I can definitely feel myself wanting to do that. And I did a little bit of that this weekend. Like I haven't called her today. I just needed a day to just be in my own space and not go there with her. I know she's safe. I know she's with nurses every day. So it's not like she's got her spirits. She's got her people from the other side that visit her.
Not alone.
She's not alone. And she's got tons of friends. The Baptist church is like ripping and roaring, and they're all together.
Are they cooking? They bringing stuff over?
Sometimes they do. I mean, they've kind of stopped that because of COVID. Like they don't really know that generation is a little bit afraid. Now they're vaccinated, so I think they're starting to get back out more, but they're still not going into each other's homes. At least my mother's friends aren't. I don't know what other people are doing. And she was a lot. I mean, her boyfriend is Donald Trump. Like she was sending him money to stop the steal. She was on his bandwagon.
There goes your inheritance.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
She gave it to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can ask him for it back.
Right. I'm sure he'll give it to me.
Yeah. Interesting. So what does she do during the day? Does she watch TV or does she?
She does. She keeps herself busy. She reads. She watches TV. She moves stuff
Does she go to church on the television? Does she?
No, she's not at all tech savvy. Like it's about all I can do to get, the landline is her,
no, but I mean, she
remote.
doesn't watch.
She watches, and she listens to the radio.
Like what?
Like, political stuff and sports. I think it's just for noise.
Who does she follow in sports?
Well, she'll just follow any of them. She loves sports talk radio. There's an AM radio station in Lenore, and after Rush Limbaugh or whoever goes off,
He's dead now.
Okay.
Maybe they're doing reruns.
Sean Hannity.
Oh, okay.
After he goes off, they have like a sports talk radio, and they just talk whatever sport is going on at the moment, and she listens. So I don't know how much she actually takes in, but she's always been an avid sport watcher.
She might be pulling up a chair for Rush Limbaugh.
She could be. When he comes rolling down the hallway, that's going to be it for me.
Exactly. You can smell cigar smoke.
That's when I'm going to get the sage.
Exactly.
I'm going to blow him out of there with sage.
Can't clean it.
Yeah. Do a cleansing. What about you? What's going on with you? You've got all kinds of stuff going on. You've been...
Well, no, I visited my birth mother on Monday.
No, you did not.
In the nursing home. First face-to-face visit in 15 months. I've seen her through the window.
Yes.
I didn't know if you'd done that. Did you ever go up and do through the window or through?
No.
It's very confusing because they would put us on these like webcam and bring her a tablet, like an iPad with the camera on it, and she was very confused because there's like lip flap, and so I went to visit her, and I didn't know if it was the right thing to do or not, and it's an 8-hour round-trip drive. It's almost 500 miles, and I'm not sure if she even knew who I was.
Yeah.
And she would just sit in her wheelchair at the end of 2 table lengths with our masks on, and she would occasionally mumble. And on the one hand, I felt like a dummy for going down there. And on the other hand, I was like, I had to do that, because it was a full day. And then this week, I've been like you. I've been just intermittently crying, like grieving.
What's the takeaway from your visit with her?
I don't know that it serves her. And like I felt like I'm interrupting her ability to just sleep. And it's disturbing. I don't need to go and do that in order to feel like I've said goodbye and tried to be a decent son. And the sense of powerlessness that I can't fix it is disturbing. But I found myself just, when I talked to my small group of men, my posse, I just started breaking down and crying, because this grieving thing.
How do they handle that? How do the posse of men handle you crying?
Oh, they're good. They're cool.
That's good.
They're good. They're like, thanks. They've done it. We've had people during this in our small group. I'm talking 6, 7 guys, lost parents, etc.
To COVID or just?
No. One was cancer. It's just this and that. We've had people separate, not divorce, but pick up and move across the country, and it's great to have that really core group of 6 or 8 guys in a lifeboat.
Yeah.
And that's something I was going to ask you. Do you lean on?
I do. I've got a very small core group of
like
ladies.
3, 5,
2.
2.
3,
Bessie.
3 maybe. Yeah. 3 really women that know what's going on. And that's really all I need. I don't need to tell the story over and over again and have a lot of people asking me questions. That's kind of my thing, is just to really have a few confidant people, solid people that can just can deliver me a little bit to the truth when I'm struggling, give me a shot of strength when I need it. But I can identify totally with you feeling like you are almost bothering or interjecting. Like last time I went to see my mom, I was kind of like, how much of this is about me and how much of this is about her? Where is what is it beneficial to her? Sometimes my presence there brings her total anxiety. She begins to fidget, she paces around, and the caregivers have told me, they call me the beauty queen. Like,
what did they mean? What does that mean?
Well, they're like, we can't, because at first when COVID hit, I was like, don't take her to the Dollar General to find tissue. Like, can't we not take the 90-year-old woman out into the, COVID masses. And so they're like, well, the beauty queen's going to get on us if we do this or do that. We've got to make sure.
Oh, they mean you're like a little drama queen.
Right, I guess. Which, I guess I've just come in and I'm trying in my way. I'm trying to protect her. I'm trying to let her, I've had all her mail forwarded to me because she'll write checks up a storm to anybody who asks for them. So,
what's her address?
I know exactly. That's what my son said. My son was like, I'm going to open up a P.O. box and I'm going to call her and tell her that the Jews for Jesus needs some money. She'll send us $100 every month. She's just very gullible. And so I come in with trying to insert my authority, my power of attorney, and try to help her, protect her. And sometimes I'm thinking, well, where this has been very interesting for me to see what is best for her, what's best for me, what's best for all involved, how can I best serve her and give back to her as she gave to me as a kid. This is like our return now. They gave us. So how does that resonate with you, with your mother that gave you up?
Well,
what do you feel like you owe her?
I don't feel like there's any owing at this point. It's just that I don't want to have regret. So it is about me. I was very clear that it is about me. However, by the same token, I don't want to impose, Like, for instance, the nursing home has a rule that only one family member can visit per week because they don't want one patient to have, take up all the time with a whole parade of family members. So it's not just one per visit, it's like one-on-one, it's also one per week. Well, my aunt, who's her power of attorney, had already been there, and she said, they may give you a hard time. I said, well, I'm 4 hours down the road. If they're going to give me a hard time, it'd be good to know that. Like, I'm going to give them a hard time.
Here I come.
That sounds like a you problem, and they didn't give me a hard time at all. They were very nice, very accommodating. Take your temperature, lean into the machine, sign this, sanitize your hands. Here she is,
Right.
But she was like sitting at the end of the table, like fiddling with a blanket on her lap. And then she would just close her eyes. And so she wouldn't really focus on me that much. And I kept trying to ask simple things like, how are you? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Lorraine had baked a little banana bread, and she loves the little, what do you call the little oranges, the cuties? Mm-hmm. And so we had a couple of those and the banana bread in tinfoil in a brown paper bag. And I like to think she'll get to eat some of that. But my main feeling is that's probably going to be the last time I see her alive.
Right.
Could I go down and continue to sort of insert myself? Yes. But thank God I have all this video and audio. I have this 15 years, 16 years, worth of us having this great relationship. And we went through the death of my sister together. I was able to go down that day. And that really is what precipitated her, because she went to the hospital a couple of months after that. And then they went to the nursing home. Now, my brother said something, and this is where family dynamics and all that, he's having a real hard time just accepting this. And he said, they put her in that nursing home. I said, time out. I said, she was of sound mind, and she looked at what her options were, and she had fallen repeatedly in her home alone. Okay, so she saw that that was a good place for her at that time. Was it the place that she would like to be? No, she wanted my sister alive and taking care of her. Well, that couldn't happen. So of the various options, that what her siblings weren't going to have her move in with them. They couldn't pick her up if she fell. They were not in a position to take care of her. So that nursing home where her hospice nurse, Leigh Ann, worked with her in the hospital. So she's around people who know her, respect her. She's not just another body, And I thank God for that. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, there's a certain comfort that I get, and I'm sure you get, knowing that she's safe and that she will be taken care of. She's not going to suffer. I don't, as far as like my mother she's being taken care of on a daily basis. So if I can't be there, she's eating, she's happy, she's as comfortable as she can be in the life that she has right now. And my sadness comes from, I feel like she was at her best as a grandmother to my children, and we spent a lot of time up there. And I've been present in her life, and, she cooked many meals for us, and that's just over. And so now I have to ride this part out with her. And this is this is hard for us, not necessarily for them, as long as they're safe and taken care of and kind of going through their day. I don't know how cognizant they are of what actually their life is about. Whether they're realizing they're in a nursing home or every day just flows into the next, but from my vantage point, I just miss the old. I'm feeling very nostalgic. That's kind of what comes up for me. But I'm grateful for what I've had. This is the other side of love. This is just the grief is the extension of love when it's no longer present in the form that we have, that we're used to. And so now I have to sit with that and just be grateful that this is the byproduct of what I was given all those years.
You're a good daughter. You're a great daughter.
Well, thank you. You're a good son.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are with masks. With this, it's so interesting for me to think about when we started this, when we thought about this, we've had people in here, we've, been so carefree, and we've ridden out deaths and sicknesses and all kinds of interesting things in both of our lives over the past 2-3 years. And here we are, at this place where we're trying to get this pod uploaded, and it's like so many things have changed. I feel like I've gotten to know you so much. Like when we first started this, you didn't have your book. You were like, hoping that it would.
You did the divorce, breast cancer, which was huge. The recurrence of breast cancer, which, by the way, how are you?
I'm good. I'm healthy. I'm good. My body is strong.
Because you had that surgery, the second surgery, how many?
It was in November, just a few
months. So 4 months ago.
Yeah. And that was the best. I got the best possible outcome from that surgery, and I've really bounced back from that one way quicker than anybody anticipated I would. I kind of kept that one really low key. I didn't tell a whole lot of people about it, but as long as I continue to go to my doctors and listen to them, which is, hard for me, I will be okay, I think. Mm. So yes, when we started, you didn't have a book. You were thinking, I've got this, bazillion pages. I don't know what I'm going to do. And now you've got a book and it's successful.
Well,
I mean,
it may never make the money back, but I had to do it. I
and
had
it's
to do it.
very well done.
Well, bless you. I
It
appreciate that.
really is.
We'll see.
You're vulnerable. You're amazingly candid.
Well, you were my mentor.
Well, I don't know if
You wrote those letters, you know.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you taught me was about how important hearing your father's voice was. Like, I'll never hear my biological father's voice, but I certainly have hours of recording of my dad's voice.
Right.
And that's a clue to my future, I think, is to encourage people however I can through like ebooks or webinars or whatever, record your parents telling their stories.
Yeah.
Don't interrupt them. Just ask them what happened. And you'll be glad you did. Even if they're like telling the same lie for the 50th time, don't interrupt the lie. Just let them tell the lie. You know, that's their story. And God knows my biological father had his share, had his version of events, you know, in which he was a big victim till the end. You know, everybody's picking on me. I super respect you doing that book.
Thank you.
I mean, and I know you're proud. In 5 lifetimes, we never reached the New York Times bestseller list once. It's still totally, totally worth it because you have this legacy, right?
Main thing is that we set out to do something and we completed it. Like the self-esteem that you get from that, from having an idea and there's nothing, an empty page, and you work and work, which is like, you know, it's writing a book is drudgery. It's like only a psycho would take that on. It's exhausting. It's mentally taxing. It's painful. But at the end, when it goes to press and it's printed and you're holding it in your hand and you actually have done it, the accomplishment of doing it is an Olympic feat for me. It was like running a marathon.
Yeah.
And I know you feel the same way, like just whittling it down, the words and the sentences and everything that you craft, down to every comma, you looked at it 1,000 times. And so, yes, it is quite an accomplishment for us both. And I'm proud of us both. Yeah.
Do you have recordings of your mom's voice?
Yes, I have so much of her because we, you know, when we were, when my kids came along, we had the video recorder it was very popular then, you know, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And we recorded all kinds of things, you know, with her. And so I have hours and hours of that. Yeah, I have her voice and I have a lot of audio and video of her.
Yeah. And you and I, thanks to a lot of other people, have stayed sober. And you have how many continuous years?
Remarkably. And I hate to even say this, like it's traumatic for me to say this out loud. It's going to be this April 17, 30 years.
There you go.
I mean,
you probably get drunk tonight.
Oh, you know what? I think I should.
It's a 50-50. It's a toss-up. It is Saturday night.
It is Saturday. And I have no plans.
Exactly.
Why not?
Yeah.
I got a little bit of shoulder pain too.
Exactly.
I did
knock that right out.
And I'm like,
knock that right out. Gin and tonic. There you go.
Right.
Have knocked back a couple of those.
Right.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're an inspiration.
What about
You're
you?
wait, July 9th, if I live that long, sober, will be 28 years.
Yeah.
So I'm more than 2 years behind you.
It's all the same. It's all the same. I mean, at some point it just becomes like just a 24-hour situation.
More than 2 years? Maybe a little less than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't focus on it so much. I mean, just the time. I mean, you do early on, you really do. But after about 10 years, I just like gave up.
Now I find that newcomers are super pissing me off. And so I find that I'm a little bit short. I have become the grumpy old guy. Are you grumpy? Do you get grumpy? Okay. Or do you just spit like, don't bullshit a bullshitter?
No, you know what? I just ghost. I just don't. I can't. And this is probably something we should definitely talk about, because the Zoom meetings have opened up a whole nother world for me.
Yeah.
Like, I've been sitting around in this town going to meetings for so long that I found that I would log on to a Zoom meeting and I would look and I'd be like, I don't want to hear what that person has to say. I would like see who was logging on. And I thought, I'm not enjoying. I can go to meetings in LA. I can go to meetings in New York. I can go to meetings
England,
anywhere I want.
New Zealand.
Why would I sit around in Zoom meetings that I've been going to for all this time
and hear people talk the same
stuff? So I've been doing these New York City meetings and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like completely changed my attitude. And so when all that shuts back down and we go back into the church basements, I'm not sure I'm going to be, then I'm going to probably storm out and be like, I can't do this anymore.
Well, bounce around. And I got asked to speak in a meeting, Jamaica, Queens. I was the only white guy
I love
in a
it.
meeting. There's like a dozen people and they were wonderful.
Yeah.
You want to talk about people who normally would not mix. They were delightful. They were so welcoming, and I did the little, 15, 20-minute qualifying.
Right.
My little abbreviated talk, and they were like, everything from when I talk about my mother meeting my father in the mental hospital, they started telling stories about Pilgrim Hospital on Long Island and mothers committing suicide. Oh my God. It just blew me away.
Yeah, this has opened up a whole world for me and I've always kind of yearned. I mean, I hope that my next phase of life will be one of travel once we're able to do that.
Yeah.
To travel and maybe go do, I've just been here all my life. I'm ready to try to do something when my kids are raised.
Well, where do you want to go?
I don't know. Anywhere.
Like where?
I mean, I would love to go to New York, New Orleans, LA. Big cities, Italy.
Have you not been to New Orleans?
Absolutely. I've been there several times.
New York?
I mean, just to like live, like is where I've always, like, I feel myself like yearning to do something. I even tell my son when he's like 13, I'm like, you want to go move to Brooklyn? Let's move to Brooklyn. I'm sure I could find a great flat right now. For
Queens.
Cheap. Yeah, I know. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just feeling like the world is changing and everything is like the boundaries are, structures are changing. Things are not going to go back to being the exact same. And why not take advantage of this and opportunities that might come my way?
Yeah.
I'm just tired of the same thing. Who knows? I'm putting that out there. That's my intention.
Oh, well, then I think it's amazing.
Right?
Yeah. I think there are all kinds of things that could. That's the thing that I'll say is that if I'm not, drowning my sorrows, if I'm not blacked out or passed out or hungover or just blind drunk, all kinds of things materialize if I get out of my own way.
Right. And to carry that a little bit farther, if I'm not manipulating, lying, cheating, stealing, trying to create something that I think
forcing it,
then also it just frees up the world of opportunity to come in and just give it to me instead of me taking.
Right.
Yeah.
Not getting in the way.
Yeah. Totally.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And some of you know that Leigh Ann and I have worked on for years, on a 12-step podcast, which we're cutting it together. We're, slowly plunking along on that. So we'll give you further bulletins, further notifications as events warrant. Thank you, Leigh Ann, for being my friend.
Man Listening is a production of Unmediated LLC in cooperation with the Queen City Podcast Network and Balto Creative Media. Allison Andrews at Andrews Creative and Rachel Clapp-Miller are developmental producers. Sally Higgins at Higgins & Owens tries to keep us legal. Our music is A Day at the Park by the group Pictures of the Floating World. Your announcer is Catherine Smith. That's me. Please go to our Patreon page. You'll find us at patreon.com. Look for Man Listening, one word, no spaces. We hope you'll join us by becoming a member. A small investment can raise up the conversation. If you want exclusive member merch like a t-shirt, we can arrange that too.
And thank you guys, all of you who have supported Man Listening. A personal shout out and thank you. Super appreciate you being here from the very beginning as we cross over more than 60 episodes and tens of thousands of downloads. Wonderful. Thanks so much.
Don't forget to support us at Patreon. We believe one voice can change the conversation. Click the subscribe button, and next week you'll hear.
I just adore when I hear somebody, a person who identifies as male, say, I am nurturing, I am beautiful, I am sexy.
That's next week on Man Listening. Thanks.